Unhinged, a insider's account of the White House, Omarosa, the sequel.
Oh boy.
Last week we talked about it, and I knew this was going to be my new Roseanne. Omarosa was going to be in our show for a couple weeks. And so, and now the New York Times reporting this week that there allegedly is up to like 200 tapes. So, Anita, what do you think? Who do you think Omarosa is harming more at this point?
Of course, ask me that.
Trump? No, Trump. Oh, shit, Trump. Trump or her own credibility?
What credibility? I mean, I'm just beyond words. You know, Omarosa was painted as the villain in The Apprentice, and now we see she is a real-life villain. However, a lot of people welcome what she's done because it's just reinforcing what we already knew.
Yes.
What did she say? Everyone in the White House lies, and she had to protect herself. And I heard lots of lies this morning from Rudy Giuliani on MSNBC.
The truth isn't the truth. It's not the truth.
But my question is, Omarosa was in her job as communications director for the Office of Public Liaison at the White House for a year. She allegedly, supposedly made over about 200 recordings. When the heck does she have time to work?
Yeah, good question. Good question.
Yeah, what was she there doing? It's like she was already preparing for her book while she was still in the White House.
Exactly. Yeah. Recording.
Well, I also think that she... So then I asked this. Do we think, though, that Trump met his match in her? Because I feel like, do we think that Omarosa outsmarted Trump?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean, I've heard 3 recordings. I've heard her firing by John Kelly, which was pretty shocking that he fired her in the Situation Room. And then what was the second recording?
Oh, it was the one about Lara Trump, the daughter-in-law, calling her to basically be like, oh, what we're thinking like, and by the way, can we talk about that she made $179,000 to do outreach that we don't know who she reached out to in the entire year. So, and they were like, oh, we're thinking 15 grand a month, but you know, you're going to have to be kind, that recording. And then there was, it wasn't
Trump, the phone call from Trump where he claimed he didn't know that she had been fired.
Yes.
And then that
and she was powerless to stop it.
Exactly.
Like he can't. I wish there was something I could do about this. This is above my pay grade.
Above my pay grade. But I could strip everybody's security clearances, but I didn't know you were fired.
I mean, my God. Just those 3 recordings raised so many questions. Who is running the White House? Because Kelly's like, I'm in charge, and Trump is like, well, there's a lot of people running things.
It's
so many questions.
It's ran by committee, I think. So you know, the clown car pulls up, and then they pile out.
And that's who's running our country, everybody.
So pulling it back into Omarosa, because that was too easy, I'm sorry. But she was on the interview with Al Sharpton on MSNBC's Politics Nation, and she actually went as far now to say Trump is trying to, she believes Trump is trying to start a race war in the country, and that after he called her a lowlife and a dog, she was trying to tie that into like that was racial. I mean, he's called lots of women pigs, dog. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily think that calling her a dog. I think it's like, you dirty dog. Like, it could be either way with him. You know, he's of another generation. But she did say now, she went as far to say he's trashed the office of presidency, and now seeing it all firsthand that he's unfit to serve. My question is, for her to have preemptively went in and needed to tape this, do you think like she absolutely already knew his character and it was just an opportunity that like, I'm not passing up working in the White House, you know, I'm Omarosa, I need to do this?
I mean, that's a lot of speculation, but she has known him since 2004. They met on his show, The Apprentice. I think she knows him very, very well. I think Omarosa is a very smart woman. She knew what she was getting into. She basically got a job paying $179,000 that didn't require a lot of work.
No.
And you know what? She is going to be filthy rich thanks to the book, her appearance on Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes.
And my question that I haven't seen this raised in the media is, how much did NBC pay for these recordings? Because typically in news, major organizations don't pay for interviews and interviews. However, these these morning shows like GMA Today,
Yeah.
they get around that by paying for licensing of video and pictures. Now, Omarosa is only releasing these recordings on NBC entities.
Yes, it's definitely her. Like,
Yeah,
feels like there's a deal there.
It certainly feels like there's a deal, and I think it's a big money deal.
Because NBC doesn't have enough problems that they should.
Would you agree?
Yeah, and I think the thing is that she's kind of like a symbol of this administration, that they will do anything to enrich themselves just a little bit, and who cares if the entire country goes up in flames. She doesn't care if Trump is fit for office or not. This is what suits her narrative and her wallet at this moment. When she went to work for him, that's what suited her at that moment.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with whether she really believes. I don't think she cares.
I mean, I can't wait for the HBO series, Unhinged.
Yeah, she's saying he's a racist now.
Yeah.
Well, why did it take you so long to figure that out? You know, I was at the Black Journalists Association, National Association of Black Journalists Convention 2 years ago, and she spoke. It was a hot mess, and she was taken to task on stage, and she defended Trump to the very end against a group of black journalists. So there was no concern back then about him being racist. Now, suddenly that she's making a buck, there's all this concern.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's almost like you want to know. So, what was the line? What was the deal breaker for you? It was like, all right, well, you don't think she's stopping anytime soon, right? There's more tape.
There's 197 more recordings. So.
But like, is there anything better than what she's already released?
Of course, they keep getting.
You think it's leading up to a bigger,
better? And apparently, she's going to cooperate with Mueller and his investigation. So
I also just saw another piece of reporting that was saying in the book she did say that Melania absolutely does communicate messages through all the clothing and all the sort of things that have went, you know, like with the shoes and the don't screw with me or don't, you know, all of that. She claims in her book that is Melania. She also claims in her book that Trump says he'll deport Melania if she divorces him.
Yeah, I read all those things. What a passive-aggressive way to express yourself.
Between the Michael Wolff book and this one, I'm just trying to think, like, you know, like whose book's like more crazier. I don't even know.
Fascinating.
Yeah. That's the better word. Okay, well, she's the gift that keeps giving from our standpoint, though. I will say, Omarosa, keep releasing them tapes, please, girl. You keep going.